The ultimate deck podcast. Need a show about outdoor living? This is where it's at. With your hosts, Shane Chapman and Way Laurent. Thank you for tuning in. Now let the show begin. Yeah. The ultimate deck podcast. Let's go.
Wade and Shane, Ultimate Deck Podcast, live from Pool Spa Patio Deck Expo 2022 in Las Vegas, day 2.
Holy, you delivered that way better today.
I practiced twice yesterday.
Yeah.
Star-studded lineup today with Dr. Dex, Jason Russell here with us.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you, man?
Good.
And Wes Kain. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent. How's the show for you guys so far? Day 2 for you as well? Feet tired yet?
Oh, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Were you exhausted before you got here, though?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Wes? Has it been,
I'm doing great. I get paid from the neck down, so I'm just doing what I do to fit in.
Just walk around, just miles.
Makes a lot of sense.
Just fake it till we make it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
This booth here is front and center as you walk in, so that's pretty cool that you guys are kind of front and center. The booth looks great from Regal here with Regal Ideas. What's the most common thing people are talking to you about when they find you guys? Is it just like they're here to meet you, or they talk product? Like Regal's gonna hate this, but like, is this the Jason and Wes show, or is this the Regal show here?
Well, we use Regal on our.
Yeah, just
we
answered
use
honestly.
Regal on our TV show, so we're here supporting them. They support us, so they got a great product.
Yeah.
They're a great bunch of great guys to work with. So we stand behind their product, whether it's the crystal rail or the lighted aluminum railing. So we're just pumped to be out here supporting them because all the support they've given us throughout the years.
Yeah, that's cool. So how did that relationship come to be with the TV show and Regal? Where did that?
Well,
happen?
Rob really likes high-end quality things on his houses that we buy and flip. And, of course, with a TV show, you want to showcase the latest and greatest of modern technology. You want to take something zero and go to be a hero.
Yeah.
And I guess him looking through and researching materials and stuff, he stumbled across Regal, and they came down from Canada, and we had a great installation. I believe Dr. Dex was supposed to show up, but he got injured,
Him, hey?
so he was a
tore
no-show.
my Achilles in half,
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
so I couldn't come.
Yeah.
But
I was so pumped. I was so pumped.
it was
I
great.
think my dad would have said, that's a long ways from the heart.
I was like, hey, I think I can still make it, guys. And Andrew, I sent him a picture. He's like, no, you're not making it.
You're not coming.
No, you're not coming. Next.
So yeah, high-end products. We're sitting here surrounded by Crystal Rail, which is probably one of the most like sexy pieces of deck accessory available in the market, and you've done some pretty sick stuff with it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking it to the next level is what I like to do with my builds. And when I got a hold of this product, I loved it. It's the reason why I started with Regal Ideas.
Yeah.
When I was at the IBS, like 6 or 7 years ago, when they were just debuting this product, I saw something in it that I'd never seen before. Well, then I got a hold of some. They gave me some samples. I'm like, I wonder if we can curve this joint, And I found a guy that
Coastal
did
glass?
Coastal curved glass,
Yeah.
Patrick. I was the first guy to contact him and say, hey, this is what I want to do. He mocked up some samples for me in laminated glass first.
Yep.
And he sent me those, and I put those in a home show, but I cracked one of them on the install. So I got back to Pat. I was like, hey, love it, but it's a little cloudy. Can we do it in a tempered? He's like, okay, I'll send you 2 panels of tempered for your home show display.
Yep.
So he put on it was a 4-foot radius. 4-foot radius. We put 2 sheets up, and man, I mean, people were just tripping when they saw it. It was pretty cool.
It's an eye catcher for sure. You did that one big job that had curved crystal rail. Everywhere. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Did it all it all showed up and it all fit?
Except the staircase glass, which was $5,000, 3 panels. I had to have remade because they weren't quite perfect. Now, this is during COVID, so these guys that make this stuff, 2 things. I was doing a video, and I was showing how we're going to do a double back curve on a section of glass, and Pat calls me, he's like, hey. I'm like, yeah. He goes, I can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do that? I had all my jigs made, all my templates made, and ready to ship to Canada. The border was closed, so he couldn't come down. We're only 3 hours away from each other.
Yeah.
So he was going to come down and do all the templates with me and mock everything up and make it all perfect for that deck. He knew how important it was to me, and unfortunately, he couldn't. The borders were closed. He couldn't come.
Right.
So he coached me on the telephone, on how to make these templates, but I didn't realize you can only bend glass one direction. You can't do a double back bend like stuff I was asking for. It's like, dude, we can't do that. So I had to rejig it took me a whole day to rejig out the entire deck. So that's those sections of glass that you see, that was the second attempt on the layout.
Yeah.
Which really mentally like messed me up.
But it's good for us to hear that happens to you as well.
Absolutely.
Because, like, let's be honest, it happens to everybody. Like, we've all put a piece of glass in that didn't work, or built a set of stairs.
Try a whole deck, 2 stories, 2 different levels.
Yeah.
Man, it was soul crushing.
And who's to know you can't bend a glass 2 different directions?
Well, unless you do that for a living,
right?
You know, that guy knows. And after I saw the process on some videos, I was like,
then it makes sense.
I mean, he spent $500,000 on a machine just so he could do what I was asking to do.
Right.
But not both ways. He goes, it only goes one way, brother.
Yeah.
And then to go back to your question, there were still minor imperfections. Like, it's not perfect. So, but it's perfect enough.
Yeah.
It depends on how particular you want to get.
Yeah, I think that's when you look at the homeowner and you're like, we're done here.
Well, that's when you reassure them it looks great.
Yeah.
It looks great.
This is really good.
But I can't see it from my house, but it looks amazing.
That little speck gives it character, actually.
Yeah. So that was, and then once I shared that with the company, with Regal Ideas, and shared it with Andrew, they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so what people don't know maybe is that you don't have to do curved glass in the crystal rail. They do have their stock glass panels that come in a variety of sizes. You don't need to go through this experimentation. Like you can get the drop-in panels.
That was really a rare instance.
Yeah.
It's something that we don't do every day. It's once in a lifetime type work. You know.
Yeah, I doubt anybody but you is doing that.
Nobody's crazy enough. I've had a couple people. Imagery is the best form of flattery, right?
Yeah.
So there was a few builders that like came in and said, "I want to do that." So they found the same guy and had some manufactured, but Regal was giving that contact, so they were trying to collaborate with Regal Ideas to do this, but it's not something it's not something we're going to do every day, and it's not something that you're going to see every day, because most of it, a lot of times we just segment the railing so it looks like a curve, but it's actually straight panels.
Yeah.
Right.
So
exactly.
that's the traditional
That's
way
super common, right?
Yes.
Like that's how most people would do that.
That's how most people would do it.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so Deck Stars program as well. You guys are ambassadors for that, or you're a part of that program. Wes, what does the Deck Stars program do for you, or as a business, or can do for contractors?
Well, Deck Stars will let homeowners know that you've been qualified to use the product to install the crystal rail, to install the railing. So there's a process that is put together through Regal Ideas, through seminar, where you get qualified. So this is going to just help you in your installation, in your resume, that you're a Deck Star.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking for somebody to install my deck or install my crystal rail, I go through the list and I'm looking at this guy, and he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to hire him. I'm going to check his resume. I'm going to check and see what he's done, where he's built. But it also gives you great discounts, great avenues of opening up doors to do more business, to make your business a little more open to more people.
There's a referral program that they're giving to the qualified contractors, where when people want to find out about the product before they know where to buy it or who to hire to install it, and those leads get dispersed throughout the Deck Stars program, so those guys are getting those additional rail leads.
And so they're like, basically it's a zip code, right? You get qualified, you end up in a certain area, and then they guide that towards you. And so in Canada, aluminum rail has been popular for years and years, right? Like, I think it was 7 years ago we went to a Deck Expo, and we went and met with our buddy Stan from Level Home Improvements and Mark King, and we're like, how do you guys sell composite rail? Like, that doesn't make sense to us, because nobody will pay for it in Canada. Everybody buys aluminum. And he was like, both of them were like, well, how do you sell aluminum? I was like, it's super easy. It goes together fast. It never, ever, like, the posts don't just randomly twist after 2 years. They're just good, right?
Yeah.
And so I think in the U.S., as that market, the aluminum market starts to grow, I think having these leads generated to you is really important.
I believe so as well, yeah.
And the other thing that I think is super valuable is that it gives you a sort of justification to charge more, right? So like if you're not qualified and Wes is qualified, and your price comes in at, let's say it's $800 more for the whole job, you have a blue check mark by your name and you don't, well, I know who I'm doing.
Right.
I'm taking the blue check mark guy.
Yeah,
right?
And we talk about that a little bit in the DeckStars program. I actually train these guys, so I'll go into a city with Regal, and our last event was in Sacramento, and I'll come in with the guys, and we'll set up a room, and then we'll have 30, 40, 50 contractors come. And then I go through a complete installation of the Regal Ideas picket, glass, and the crystal rail. How to install it properly. That's part of becoming a DeckStar. We teach you how to install the product properly to the base of what Regal Ideas, the minimum base.
Like their specs that they want,
absolutely,
right?
Yeah, so they love that.
And also with those 30 or 40 people, they may be using another product, and what you're doing is opening their eyes up to what Regal Ideas has to offer, to where they're going to come on board, be a DeckStar, and use that product.
Because there's nobody else in the aluminum game that's doing this crystal rail.
No.
Like there's nothing like this out there.
No, and when you become a DeckStar, you do the crystal rail, you also do the aluminum rail, you learn how to light and do everything that they have, every product.
What I think was cool too, we sat in those DeckStars seminars before as well. The Canadian version, which you don't cross borders anymore, but I'm just kidding.
It'll happen.
But the bro
I need
laws,
a Nexus card.
Yeah. The bro laws do the Canadian ones, right? And
yeah.
what I thought was cool about being in that room with the 30 and 40 contractors is not only were the bro laws teaching the room, but the room was also teaching the room, because everybody's kind of like, you know what, this is how we do it, and also was like, oh, that's actually really smart how you did that, right? Maybe it's out of the install manual, but something's a little bit more efficient or a little
tips
bit,
and tricks.
Yeah, and so everybody gets in there and collaborates a little bit, and we all walk away being even better, right?
Yeah.
So it's
and also being on board on the team, if something changes and they upgrade a product, then I get to see it used again, and I get to take it back, and I get to say, hey, let's use this on our next build. Regal has a new product or a new installation method, and we do that.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to speak to, because we're talking a lot about like this training these contractors go through to install this stuff. The system is also incredibly DIY friendly. For the average homeowner who's doing their own deck, or a contractor who's maybe not as experienced, whatever, this is probably one of the easiest systems in the market to snap together. And even the crystal rail, the first time I did it years ago when I was still building, used it the first time, and I was like, for as high-end and premium as this rail is, it's actually incredibly simple to install, which
Shane,
sometimes is complicated.
I can still remember the video you put out where you're like, I think you got so many people asking, is it sturdy? Does it wobble? Is it stable?
Yeah.
So you just walked up to one panel and you just started ripping on it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm convinced that it's not coming down, dude.
I mean, I did that on a deck that was 2 feet off the ground, not 11. But
still, it really shows
the fact is it's strong, right?
Yeah, how strong is it? It's definitely going to withhold the 800 pounds that it's going to need, or the minimum requirement for certain.
Yeah.
On top of that, it's going to hold so much better.
Exactly.
Well, it all goes to, you guys are deck builders, you know it starts with a strong foundation. You have to support the pods the right way in your deck.
100%.
So once you do that, then you're going to get the whole package. If you go in there and you don't follow instructions, you're not going to a DeckStar seminar, you're not going to know, oh, I'll just throw it on and here it is, and the next thing you know. But that's why the DeckStar program is important.
No, exactly.
So you're in Florida, Wes.
Yep.
You're in Tacoma,
Washington.
Washington.
Mm-hmm.
The two building codes probably couldn't be more separate, right?
Correct.
Between the two?
Correct.
Well,
Like it's wild southeast where you are?
we're down there in Hurricane Alley, so everything in the last probably 15 years or 20 since Hurricane Andrew is like double and tripled on,
Like specs and strength.
Everything in construction from ground up is tripled, with the reinforcement of steel, more concrete, with more structure, more hurricane strapping, more roof. It's just crazy.
So I'm sitting here looking at the ADA rail as well. Have you put any of that stuff on your jobs, Jason?
I have.
You have?
Mostly on the crystal rail, but I've actually personally put it in my own home. Inside my house. I liked it so much.
Because he blew out his Achilles tendon.
Yeah, well,
right. I forgot about that.
I also blew out my quadricep completely, so I'm handicapped on my left. So
you got to take care of yourself.
I have to walk down my staircase, and every morning at 5 a.m. I walk down backwards. So I needed something.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
We're going to get him a rappel rope and let him just tag his line go down
So when I'm walking down my stairs backwards, I need to hold on to something very stable.
Yeah.
And I had this wood rail, and I'm like, it's kind of flexible in the morning, and I'm kind of leaning on it as I'm going downstairs. So I ended up putting some ADA in and locking it into the studs into the wall, and they have these really trick brackets. And for one, I love the look. It's so streamlined and clean.
Yeah.
And my wife liked the upgrade as well, so I just went ahead and rocked some of that that in my house.
I was like, let's be honest. She said it was okay, so you put it in.
Heck yeah.
That's how that works.
100%. But it is. I only have 3 points of attachment in a 14-foot span, and I can actually use it as intended.
Yeah.
Because I need an assist to go up and down, and first thing in the morning. Yeah.
At what point are you going to start talking to Deckstars about adding health benefits, insurance to the
just for like your left side? Really, it sounds like
10 years. Maybe.
Yeah. You'll be a broken man by then.
Yeah, exactly. The only other thing I had for these guys was what innovations have Regal done that drew you to them? I believe we probably talked about a bunch of them already.
Yeah, Crystal Rail is one. But another thing that I want to touch on is these guys are very personal with you. They make you feel kind of like family. It's not just a business relationship with these guys. Yeah. They go the extra mile. They care about you. And sometimes that goes a long way with what you're doing. It's not just about selling railing. It's
Isn't
the
that
whole
the
thing.
Truth?
How's the install? How'd the install go? Did you get something out of the Deckstars program? How are you doing? They do follow up. So you get a little bit more with these guys because they just really care about it.
I can also speak from a dealer perspective because that's the side of the game that we're on now is the stocking the product and selling the product. From the dealer side, they've run a tighter ship than any other railing manufacturer that we deal with.
They have a nice display for you as well, right?
Nice display. The turnaround times on ordering is quick and fast and easy. You get lots of support from the rep. We see that rep probably 10 times more than we see other reps from other railing manufacturers. So the support on the dealer side is really good as well. Like they really have a great kind of complete
It just starts from the top down, and they're still innovating. I've been told some top secret information that I'm not allowed to speak about. Maybe you can get out of the other guys, but there's some stuff coming.
I think we have like a standing rule here that if you bring that up, like if you dangle that carrot, you actually then have to tell them.
I'm not obligated to do so. But there are some really cool things in the future. COVID really slowed some things down, unfortunately. There's some things I've been preaching about on my page. If you follow closely to me, then you'll know kind of what I'm pointing at. But the future's coming, and these guys are going to be right in the middle of it. Yeah. And so to answer your question, Wade, first of all, this Crystal Rail, I still think it's above and beyond what is available on the market right now as far as technology goes.
I would agree.
Okay.
So just because I always like to do this, devil's advocate, if you had to make one change to Crystal Rail, what would you change? The pods.
I know. He
the
did
pods.
it one time.
I would make them black.
I was like, why are you taking so long? Everybody knows what you would change. The pods would be a different color.
Yeah. But okay, so here's their stance on that. I'll give you guys this nugget.
Sure.
They're not coming out with another color. If you want to disassemble the pods, take out the LEDs, unscrew everything, disassemble it, and put tape over the screw holes.
Yeah.
Go have them sandblasted and powder coated whatever color you want. That's up to you.
Yeah.
Now that's at least $60 a piece. But if you have a discriminating client, then
we're talking a premium price product. Like it's to add that little bit extra, get the color pod you want.
It's $100 a panel, we'll say, 100 to 150 a panel to do whatever the heck you want, and then have the clips done the same color. Then now you have a completely custom, one-off, residential, which is / commercial almost, like hotel style resort type install. I've done that.
Yeah.
You've pushed it.
I just don't promote it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you guys have anything else you wanted to chat about before we let you go? Because I know the Regal guys want to rotate some folks through here and get some other topics covered.
Go to my YouTube channel and click subscribe.
There you go.
Okay.
And
follow us on Instagram.
Why don't we give all that, both of you guys? You're both active on social. So
Dr. Dex, at Dr. Dex on Instagram, Dr. Dex on YouTube. And I think that's really, you can find me there. Go to our website if you need to and check us out there as well. Wes.
Perfect. Wes Kain?
I love my Instagram, so I'm running stories 24/7. So I'm at Wes Kain, WESKAIN, at Wes Kain Mafia. Hit me up. We're running game, man. We're everywhere. We're building, we're tearing down, we're looking for the next project. We got things going on. Hit us up on Discovery Network, Vanilla Ice Project, also on Amazon Prime. Boom.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Keep it coming.
Good.
Well, thanks for your time today, guys. And
Thank you.
I know you got places to be, and you got to show those pretty faces a little bit more before this whole thing's over. So we'll let you guys go and rotate the next crew.
Thanks for the opportunity, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you for having us out.
Thanks,
Wes.
Yep.
Appreciate it. So we're going to rotate some other folks in here from Regal. And great little setup we have here actually around the fire table.
Yeah, I just don't want to turn it on.
Does take a does take a little bit of effort to rotate people in and out, but we haven't actually got a chance to walk this floor yet because we've been kind of tied up. But what a great show! Like if you haven't been to the show before, I much prefer the partnership they have with the pool spot patio because it's a little bit more relevant than the general building material stuff.
Yeah, like I don't want to rip on what they used to have because that was really good for a lot of like a lot of remodelers, right? So the people would build decks in the summer and then remodel in the winter.
Yeah.
So that show made sense. But I think what we're starting to see is the industry move towards like whole backyards.
Yeah.
Now this makes more sense.
100%.
It's evolved.
So it's a great show. It's very busy. A lot of pool guys here. I don't know how I feel about that. But
Well, I don't know. Like they don't seem mean so far.
we got a couple new gentlemen sitting down on the microphones
right.
here. Gentlemen, why don't you give us an introduction, who you are, what you do. You're both from Regal Ideas.
Well, my name is Joe Jacklin. I look after
Just lean right into the mic here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So again, my name is Joe Jacklin.
Nailed it.
I'm with Regal Ideas, and I kind of look after the contractor side of things with them.
Okay.
Excellent.
Awesome. Andrew Panelides, and I do whatever it takes at Regal.
Right? You're the
You name
the it guy.
The utility
You name
guy
it.
does
Yeah.
whatever needs done.
Yeah.
What do you need to do?
Yeah, that's right.
Throw them in.
Throw 'em in.
Good. So are you the one that's making the decisions on the new logo and when that gets launched? Are you that guy?
I must thank you, Shane. I tell you, you were right. Business started to spike.
Yeah.
That new logo.
I bet.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Mind you, I don't see it here anywhere at the booth, so that's a missed opportunity. But you guys will learn.
We're just trademarking it.
Yeah.
Trademark lawyers are all over it.
Yeah.
They love it. The guillotine.
Yeah. I mean, that's
And a little tidbit. That thing is actually being changed. That thing.
Oh, yeah?
That thing you pointed to. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
People
Being
keep
worked on.
asking me, like, where do you get this stuff from? It's like, I don't know, dude. I turn the camera on, my brain goes to weird places, and I'm just saying it out loud now. So, we were just talking with the other guys about the Deck program, but you guys are the ones that are kind of really running that and had launched it. So give us some more detail on what Deck is all about.
What really kind of started the whole thing, Shane, was we start getting a lot of phone calls to head office and it hits on our website because we've been on all these TV shows like Property Brothers.
Yeah, the Vanilla Ice Project, that's where it all started,
Yeah, and ever since then it was crazy. So we had to find people, and being from Canada, we don't know many people down here, so we had to find a lot of contractors from across North America and really get them certified and pass those leads on down to them. So that's how the whole program started.
Right.
And
Do you want to? Can you elaborate a little bit on what certified means?
Yeah,
Like, what is that? What's the investment by me to be certified?
Yeah, let's go through that. So it started off as a vision, which basically it was like 5 days before Christmas. We all got together and said, let's get some contractors together and start certifying them or training them. And it just evolved. We had Dr. Dex down, and it just took off. So it started with a vision. What we want to do is the number one. The product is super safe, but what we're finding that it was the installation that was causing the issue. People weren't installing it right. So any type of call we would get, it was around, they used the wrong fasteners or they didn't do the right blocking. So when we say certification, it's more or less like we have a vetting process. We have a checklist. So attend our class, do the training, and then we do a follow-up. And the follow-up is, do a couple jobs, send us some photos, but also, do you have the right insurance in place? What's your social like? What's your social media like? What's your branding like? We don't want a guy, out there flagging Real Ideas and just being a nuisance on the internet, being a bully. So we vet those, right?
Unless he's a wood bully.
Yeah,
that kind of guy.
yeah.
There's two types of bullies on the internet. One's okay.
He snuck in.
Yeah.
When you say you're going to attend a class, it's a one-day class?
One-day class, yeah.
Okay. And I know what you're talking about with, like, the railing fails.
Yep.
And then it starts to get a bad rap, right? It's like, well, Regal rail fell off my house in the wind. It's like, well, you used a 2-inch lag bolt.
Yep.
You didn't use the right.
Yep.
The railing didn't fail.
Yep.
The deck board came off the deck.
I'll be honest, it was the Deck training that one day that I think about 98% of that room realized that you're not supposed to use those 2.5 leg bolts to fasten the post down, right?
That's what
You
everybody
guys are
has
talking
been
about it,
using.
everybody's looking like, that's what we do.
And man, from the do-it-yourself community, it's crazy. Like how many are using those 2.5-inch legs?
Yeah.
So we're trying to get that message out. Yeah. And we just had a call the other day. The contractor said, the customer said it was wobbly. It was the 2.5-inch legs again. So we got to get that message.
Or
out
it's
there.
not blocked properly is what we see more often than not, right? They didn't put appropriate blocking underneath the decking. It's just fastened into whatever composite decking they have, and then that's...
But that's a change because the industry has changed. So you used to be able to fasten your rail down to your 2x6 deck board, because that's what you used. You had a treated or a cedar 2x6 board that was positively connected every 16 inches.
Right.
But now what you have is plastic that's clamped every 16 inches. So that what it's fastened to is completely different, right?
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
So getting this word out has been great, and the Deckstar community has been amazing helping get that word out for us, like a guy like Jason and Wes and all these. You two guys especially. You two guys have been doing it.
That wasn't a give me some credit.
I want credit.
You're forgetting about us, Joe.
The show isn't about you, Joe. It's about us.
Yeah.
See the logo, Joe? It's our show. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but the Deck Stars have been wonderful, and we got other Deck Stars here in this show. Actually, it's been great to see.
Well, like this whole booth was built by our Deckstar, right?
Yeah. The guy behind us right now, Kevin Galt.
Yeah.
From Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
He hit us up a couple of years ago just to watch. He became a Deck Star by actually watching our video series because when we had COVID on, we couldn't go out and personally train anybody.
Right.
So with the help of the Bro Laws, who I think you may be familiar with,
Yeah.
they did a video series for us. It was exceptional, and so that's another way a person can get trained.
And the other thing I also want to mention is that when you go to deckstars.com, the website, you're going to see very little Regal propaganda on there because we want to keep it neutral. We want to get the best of the best joining Deckstars.
Right.
Whether you build gazebos or pools, we want you to be a part of a Deckstar because you're going to eventually build decks. You're going to build railings.
Yeah.
We use crystal rail around pools. So when you go there, we're seeing companies now approach us to be like, how can we collaborate? Can we be part of Deckstars? So we're starting to see that grow. So our kind of the next level for Deckstars is collaboration. Collaborating with more big brands, getting more brands on the training program. So what started off with a small idea is now become a really big network coast to coast. We have what 1,400 Deckstars right now?
That's right.
Yep.
Okay, so if you're a contractor listening to this, you're on the fence, you don't know if you should do this program, where are you guys looking for more Deckstars? Because let's be honest, you don't want to have 51 Deckstars in a city of 100,000 people, right? You want, because you just dilute that whole.
Exactly.
So where does Regal want to grow right now as far as the Deckstar community goes? Is Canada strong? Do you need some more people in like Charlotte?
Yep. Canada is strong. We are still looking in pockets of BC and the East Coast.
Okay.
A little bit in Quebec. We're really strong in Ontario. Western Canada is great. But we are really looking for more contractors down the U.S. It's so vast down here. The community is so large.
There's a lot of people down here.
As you can see by this show, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So we are looking at different pockets of the U.S., the Northeast. We're starting to grow in the Southeast, people like Kevin Galt. And we're starting to make some traction. Colorado, we're going to have somebody on from Colorado here shortly. We're strong on the West Coast. So we're starting to make some headway, but man, it's such a vast community out there, and like with 330 million people in the U.S., there's a lot of customers out there that we have to get to. So
good for you.
Absolutely.
There's you guys are mostly known because that's all we've talked about so far, and that's what's displayed here as a railing company. But you do have some other products as well. I don't know if you want to touch on those a little bit, but I'm also curious about anything you might be able to tell us about new stuff for 2023.
Oh,
maybe.
that's a good point. Well, we have, I think, like Jason mentioned, COVID really threw us back 3 years, and we're an innovative company, and we put stuff out every year. We come with something new. We've got some great stuff coming for 2023 if we can get it done, but 2024 is going to be a big year for us for innovation. I'd love to share with you guys because it is a game changer what we have in the works right now. It was supposed to be launched this year, but we're waiting, just because of testing and getting the right stuff, installation instructions, all stuff done. But I will tell you something that is coming out is the universal angle bracket that we've all been asking for. Is being released.
I'm telling you, you should just give yourself full credit for that, Shane. You just tell people it's like, I did this.
Yeah.
We made fun of it so much that Regal changed it. There was at least 20 people listening to us on this podcast.
And they all messaged me.
Yeah, and every one of them.
Every one of them.
And they all said when. But I'll tell you, it is changing. It's a lot more streamlined. It's exactly what you guys were asking for. So really pleased to send that out. As soon as we get it, I'll send you guys out the first sample. maybe have you know, so you can kind of review it in your podcast.
I would say that one of our newest release of a product is the Yard Light.
Yard Light.
Yeah, I was going to say it. You kind of extended your lighting lineup a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? We started to get such a demand for people wanting a more extensive and expansive lighting system. So we thought, hey, you know what? A lot of people are using those lights in their decks, so why not move along that line too? So it's a natural fit with our current LED system. Yeah. So we're just starting to launch this year.
Yeah. So the Yard Lights, they come in 3 colors: white, gold, and the blue. They integrate into either the Crystal Rail system or the Regal Rail system. It's just plug and play.
Okay.
You don't need to buy another transformer. It's just plugged into the existing system you have.
Can you tell me how many watts each one of those draws? Ooh. Because your transformers are based on...
Holy smoke, settle down.
My bad. Wow. I apologize.
Anyways, what kind of circuitry are you using?
Whoa. Well, people ask these questions, right? So
how many lights can you put on a transformer?
That's the end goal. Is like, so can I do a railing system and a set of stairs?
Yes, correct. You can.
Okay.
So that's nice because we like the ribbon lighting in the strip lighting in the top rail of the aluminum rail is awesome. Everybody loves that, but they often want to put it in their stairs as well, and then all of a sudden we're having to give them two systems to accomplish that.
Right.
So this is fantastic. Now they can run it all off a single transformer.
Yep.
Exactly.
Low wattage, and then also one thing that we've been working on, and you know what, we delayed the release. It's our app. We have the Wi-Fi app coming out, Bluetooth app.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
For the lights.
Yeah, for lights. So it's coming out next year. We delayed it because technology kept changing at a fast pace, and we wanted the latest out there. We went to release the app, and we found out, we can also get it Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and we can also get the weather channel on there. We get other stuff. So the Wi-Fi app is going to be incredible. So you can control multiple decks, multiple cities, and multiple states. It's got motion sensor on there. It's got alarm settings. It's incredible.
Wow.
So the app is really taking a leap forward. So we're excited. Next year it's going to launch.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Yeah. Alarm settings?
Yep. So for example, if somebody walks on your deck, lights will turn on, and it'll trigger your phone. Hey, somebody's on my deck.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. So if you have a camera system, check your cameras now, right?
So how does it know? What sensor?
So we'll have a motion sensor.
You said.
I missed that part.
Available with the new app.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, those are good. Yeah, those are good features.
Yeah.
But you know what? We should get some other deck stars in here.
It's like.
Have we got a little bit of time to interview a couple of
deck stars?
We've got some time.
Yeah, we're only at 32 minutes. Typically, these are 45, so we got lots of time still.
So one thing we want to do is this show, for us, it's about people. Yeah, we have product and we push product, but it's finding that next star, and that's what we love at these shows. And we met some great people here. We find some great deck stars. I know we met a young girl named Haley. Reminds me of like Kate Campbell, the rising star. Yeah. So I'd like to bring her on here. Maybe you can chat with her. She's a great star. Kevin's one of our other deck stars.
Do you want to put Kevin on here as well?
Yeah, let's put Kevin on here as well. He's our deck star from Charlotte.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
We'll bring him on, and like I said, it's all about people. People make our company. People build our company, right? So.
Yeah, it's good to, like, one of the greatest things I like about this whole industry is the community aspect of it. That's what's great about these shows specifically. It's just getting in the same room with people. I mean, the Zoom calls were great during COVID, but there's nothing like getting together and...
Exactly. Well, let's let me get them on right now. We'll do a little switch.
Guys, thank you so much for having us.
Love the show.
Thanks for taking some time to sit down with us, and I'm looking forward to the future with you guys.
Let me know how much I owe you for the logo.
Yeah, well, it depends. It'll be a revenue share depending on how much your revenue increases. So, just looking for a cut, Andrew. Just looking for a cut. Okay, we're just in the middle of swapping some extra people out here, so we can talk to some. It's a good mix of people we've had.
This is really good. So I'm excited about this group because I believe we're going to have both ends of the spectrum here.
Because you're intimidated by Wes Kain.
I was intimidated by Wes Kain. Did you hear how deep his voice was?
Yeah,
right?
I did, yeah.
Like he talks and it was like, oh boy.
All right, we got a couple of you guys are going to have to get comfortable with that microphone. Stay nice and close to it, like awkwardly close.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, that's really good. So,
okay, 2 new folks joining us. Why don't you give us your names and your companies and where you work out of? Go ahead.
My name is Haley McDonald, and I'm from Colorado, and I own HM Builds.
Nice.
Okay. So you're the one that everybody was telling us is the new Kate Campbell.
I don't know who she is, but yeah. Yes.
Or I can just be myself.
She's a good person.
She's great. Yeah, she's awesome. So,
And Kevin?
Kevin?
Yeah, my name's Kevin Galt, owner of Kevin's Decks out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Damn, this guy's got a voice for radio here.
Right? He's really good.
Here, you take this.
I DJ'd for 5 minutes.
This makes sense.
Last night.
Yeah.
I was DJing last night, actually, so that's the thing.
How's the show been for you guys so far?
Excellent.
And this is your handiwork we're sitting on right now? You
It
did
is,
all
yes. I built this deck, yes.
this? You just felt like building while you were on vacation? or-
Yeah, I mean, I was bored, and they said to come out to Vegas and put this deck together, and I was like, okay.
I'll be there.
Why not?
Sounds fine.
Have you guys had a chance to walk all the way through the show yet?
Yep.
Or yeah? And
Yeah.
we haven't, so I'm just trying to like
We
live
have.
vicariously through you.
Yeah,
right
we've done 1.5 rows. That was it.
I think I've done 2 rows, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, not the full show yet.
Sounds good. Hey, but Haley, you've got some experience in the show now.
Yeah, so I mean, I walked mainly stayed on this side yesterday, on the deck side, but I walked over to the pool side and like looked about different options on that. I really enjoy building around pools. I've done 2, or spas and pools. I've done 2 so far, so that interests me just to create different ideas for people and that kind of stuff. But the deck side has been, it's been overwhelming. It's,
Right?
Yeah.
Is this your first show?
This is my first show.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so why did you come here?
I just wanted to learn more. I wanted to get my name out there, meet more people in the industry, and
Yep.
just really start to pick people's brains on like how to do this and how to do this right. And luckily I was able to finish a job right before I got here. So coming in and like taking all the classes and education has just been, it's just been overwhelming with information and love and support from the deck community that I didn't expect at all.
Isn't it crazy? So like Shane and I talk about this on the podcast all the time. When we first started going to, Shane actually went before I did because I was a finishing carpenter before this. And Shane was working a corporate gig and building decks on the weekends. And he was like, same sentiment. I want to go, I want to learn more, I want to see what's out there. And you come down to these events and what happens is it turns out everybody just wants to help you because they're not your competitor. Like you two are never going to bid on the same job.
No.
So you can tell Haley everything about how you put it together.
Maybe on the Regal booth, like who builds the next Regal
Yeah,
booth potentially.
right. Little arm wrestle and then it's over.
That's right.
So, but it's like you can talk about pricing and rates, and you don't ever have to worry that it'll hurt you or take business away, right?
Yeah.
And so you learn more, and when we leave these events, it's just like, yeah, no, it's still here. Like this group is still so awesome, right? So
Yeah, no, it's been, just like you said, it's just been everyone, even 2 contractors that I met from Colorado who said that they were our direct competitors, were just like, whatever we need to do, we'll help you.
Yeah.
We want to see you succeed. It doesn't matter.
who are the contractors?
O'Keefe and LS Underground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, Dave.
just from 2 guys who know what they're doing
Yeah.
on the business side and on the craft side too as well, just
Yeah.
to be able to say, here's my phone number, give me a call whenever you want, like was just, for
Well,
someone who's one of the few in the industry, that's just a nice thing to be able to have just in my back pocket. those kind of
Certainly.
relationships.
Yeah. We'll introduce you to Scott Kelly. He's out in that area as well. He's like he'd be a good resource to have.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because it can be a lonely gig sometimes if you're a single crew or even just building decks by yourself. Like you don't have anybody to bounce ideas off at home, and your family's like, "Would you quit talking about decks to me all the time?"
This
And
is
now-
not that
unless
interesting.
you're about to build me one, shut up. So it's nice to come in here and just nerd out with other people.
Yeah, well, I do that to my family all the time, and they're like, "Yeah, we kind of like get where you're going," and I'm like, "Yeah, but this case on it." Like, yeah, Haley, okay.
Yeah.
And I just finished a deck on my parents' house, so they like really got to see like what I do and like that kind of stuff, and they were just like, "I can't even like this is what you do every day," and I was like, "Yeah, now you understand when I'm talking about a cantilever or this block that needs to fit there or whatever," and they're like,
Your parents are so surprised, and you're like, "Listen, did you really think that poorly of me before?" Like, I thought you raised somebody great. So
Yeah, no, they were very impressed and shocked what all it takes to build a quality deck.
Isn't
a deck
that right?
that's going to last, a deck that's going to stay there and be safe for anyone to be on it, and like that kind of stuff. And
That's what the average person doesn't understand is a deck's not just a deck. There's a wide variety of like level of detail and craftsmanship that goes into a deck that like a deck's not just a deck. The difference between a deck that's built on the weekend by a homeowner and his buddy with a case of beer and what you guys are producing is a drastically different product. So
It's
is this
100% true.
Yeah, is this your first show as well, or you been to a few
I was
before?
at IBS also.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's a beast, hey?
Yes, it
That's
was.
a big one.
Yeah.
And so do you have anything that you would elaborate on further than Haley did? as far as like the community,
No,
the show?
The community is great. I mean, we did an event in Charlotte, and there was a couple deck builders, and it was like, we're direct competitors, but we still spoke about everything.
You just put it down.
Somebody needs help with
here,
something,
right?
and somebody needed some plugs one day,
and you
I
have them.
those colors.
This is
Here
perfect.
you go.
$300.
Yeah.
You sound like you're in a real bind if you're phoning me. So I see opportunity.
Yeah.
Right on. So what are you guys, have you guys used like the whole Regal lineup? Did you get into it a whole lot? Have you used Regal at all? Like, I don't know where you are as far as your experience with the product.
I have not. I installed it once at a expo in Colorado, but that was about the only time that I've installed it or touched it. I've seen lots of people install it and that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping to get to that level of decking and materials and that kind of stuff soon.
Right.
So.
Yeah, Regal's my standard deck package. Black aluminum railing or white, whatever the customer chooses.
Textured or gloss?
Textured black.
Yeah, it's so good, right?
Absolutely. And with LEDs, they don't use the LEDs. That's their problem. So that's
You include that, like
absolutely.
If I just went to you and said I want to,
when I send you a quote, it's PVC decking and Regal rails. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I
Good
don't
for
give
you.
customers options anymore.
You know what? It turns out that you don't have to.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can over-explain stuff to your customers, and you can be like, "Well, do you want wide picket or narrow picket, or do you want?"
Yeah.
What they want is black rail.
Yep.
I just want black rail.
Unless somebody comes up to me and knows exactly what they want, I'm telling them what they want.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It makes it a lot
You're
easier.
like Steve Jobs, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
I've learned over the years to stop talking.
Yeah. What color of rail would you like? Here's texture black option. That's it.
When I first started in the composite and PVC decking, I showed up with the Regal suitcase with every color sample and deck manufacturer, and here's the difference, and I'm like, nah, here's your 5 color choices.
You know what? You just freeze people into this, like, they get like deer in headlights look, because it was the same way in our showrooms before in our stores, is that we had too many options on the wall.
Yeah.
And people would walk in and be like, I'm here to look for a gray deck. Oh my God. Why is there 28 grays on the wall? Just give me a gray deck. And it's like,
That's like, yeah, we would
we
have
ended up limiting a bit because it was just too overwhelming for people.
30 some colors on the wall, and
Literally.
and they just stand there. It's like, it's not that hard. Gray or brown?
Yeah.
Gray. Now it's in half.
Yeah, the
Right?
nice thing about the Regal rail is that they're not limiting by color, but there's not a million colors. There's five?
Yeah.
And then textured and gloss black. But there is some options, right? You can do white
Yeah.
or black, which is 90% of the market. But if you do need a brown or a taupe or a gray, there is those options too, because that does play in here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what else? First of all, what's going on for the rest of the show? Are you guys here to the end of the week?
End of the week.
Okay.
We
Nope.
tearing this down Thursday night.
You're
I
out of
leave.
here.
I actually leave tonight. Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Okay.
But
Back to building decks.
back to building decks.
Learned a
Yep.
lot.
Get back to
Learned
work,
a lot.
Haley.
I start my second one on Monday when I get back. I confirmed my material delivery earlier this morning and just rocking and rolling, just trying to make it happen.
Nice.
Good for you.
How did you get into this? I'm curious. Is this fairly new for you? Like, did you just start your company, or?
I started the company to be a subcontractor for someone else a year ago.
Gotcha.
So I just finally just said I'm just going to do it. Start making it happen. So I've been building for a little under 4 years.
Okay.
I started with a company out of Parker, Colorado, and I built underneath someone for a year, and then they asked me to become a lead. So I ran my own crew for 2 years, and then I've been working underneath this other gentleman for most of this year. He's been building for 20 to 25 years, so just learning how to build bigger, better, and faster, and just the stuff that would boggle my mind. I didn't have to figure it out anymore because he showed me tricks and that kind of stuff. So I actually learned a whole new way from the first company that I was with to working with him. I learned 2 different ways to frame, which was awesome. Now I have 2 ways to frame and to frame faster and that kind of stuff. So it's just been,
There's always a lot of ways to do a lot of different things, right? That's what social media exposes. It's the ugly side of it. But you post how to do something, how you do something, and there's inevitably somebody's like, that's not how you do that.
Way.
It's no, it's just not how you do that. There's so many different ways
Yeah.
to
That's
do
why I'm
something.
not big on social media.
Yeah. It's you need to be there, but it's it's pretty tough to be there.
Yeah.
So anyway, do you guys want to touch anything else before we let you go?
I think that's good.
You guys no, we didn't know we'd be sitting here 15 minutes ago, so
What was
didn't
the-
exactly put a script together.
I'll ask each of you, what was the best thing you saw at the show? And you don't have to say anything Regal because you're in the Regal booth, but what's just the coolest thing you saw when you were here?
Coolest thing I saw.
I saw a guy do a keg stand in aisle 11. But, aside from
It could be that.
Does it have to be here at the show?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I had something yesterday that I guess the biggest thing that I got from the show was Deckmaster Jay from Legacy Decks. He's been 3D printing those little clips for the clamps.
Did he give you some of those?
He did give me some.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was stoked. Like I was like,
Yep.
that is one thing I need to get while I'm here, and it just happened to work out, and I got to talk to him a little bit and that kind of stuff, and so. But that was awesome, and then for me, it was just the amount of information I got. That was probably the most valuable thing I got out of being here.
Yeah.
Those education sessions, you got
I
ton
went
of value out of
to
those?
all of them, and I got a ton out of it. Learned how to build better, smarter, all that kind of stuff, and so. Yeah, it's been
just even that, right? There's like people from the industry putting on class, like Nadra's putting it on, but there's people that are in the industry then helping you put that together. Oh man, this is awesome.
How about you, Kev? Anything stand out for you at the show so far?
Mind you, haven't gone around
yet.
Yeah, so nothing's jumped out at me yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the products today.
The railing's eye-catching for a lot of people, right? I don't know if you guys were super familiar with it before or not, but it's been out for a few years.
Crystal rail.
Yeah, sorry, this rail. I mean, not the picket stuff.
Yeah, we've done a few jobs. We've done a few jobs in North Carolina with the crystal rail. So
yeah, it's always eye-catching because what you forget sometimes is that not everybody has seen it because it's still like it's not brand new, but it's relatively new, and there's not a lot of places that stock it or show it, whatever. But it's an eye-catcher when you walk in here. They should turn the lights out in here. Actually, that'd be sweet.
We tried to tell them that yesterday.
Yeah,
just make this one.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just make this one corner.
Get rid of these ones up here.
black curtain walls and a box all the way around it. Anyway, that's awesome. Thanks, you guys, for coming on and telling your stories and sharing what you got here. We'll let you get back to the rest of the show because it sounds like you've only got a few hours left.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
So I got to make my rounds.
Yeah, make rounds again. Do it all over again. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for listening to the Ultimate Deck Podcast. Now you know what we're about. Check the site, come and shop. UltimateDeckShop.com. Hit us right away for sponsorships or tell us if you want to collaborate. Let's go. Check us out on any social networks. Thank you for listening.